Well, hello everybody, and welcome to our second part of our faculty seminar series. This one is on efficiency in the online classroom, and our guest speaker today is Kristen Zaborski with Business and Technology, and her main office is down in Venice. One of the things that we're doing here is really trying to help you out to be more efficient in your classroom. And as we move forward in here, you're going to hear Kristen talk, and then you'll hear Angie and I come on after her. And with that, I will turn it over to Kristen.
Hi, colleagues. Thanks for tuning in. So I just wanted to sort of share with you a couple of things that have made me more efficient teaching online. Number one is something that is just very simple and very easy to do. We can actually color code our courses within Canvas. You start to associate pink with online, you start to associate purple with face-to-face or green with blended, and it really helps you navigate once you're in Canvas pretty quickly. So you can color code your online courses in Canvas by subject matter. So for example, for me, I teach principles of microeconomics and principles of macroeconomics, and I also teach face-to-face and fully online courses. So I color code for my micro courses, both my face-to-face get a different color from my online, and my macro courses, face-to-face, get a different color from the online courses. Everything's nice and neat, and I can just click on it very quickly. And if we look at our history, we've taught a lot of courses, and so you really only want to have in your navigation bar your current courses available. You don't want to be bombarded with past courses, and you can certainly organize in that particular manner. So in terms of course organization, organization is really a key factor with being efficient, knowing where things are quickly, not having to go on a significant search. So well-organized courses within Canvas. So Quality Matters really advocates to break things down by weekly modules. And if we think about it, that really makes a lot of sense, right? Because we teach by the semester system. I teach 16-week courses. Some of you teach 16-week courses, 8-week courses, maybe even 6-week courses. So the students really get into the habit of being trained to sort of stay on track on a week-to-week basis. That's why I am a big supporter, a strong advocate for organization by weekly modules within Canvas for your courses. So if you notice there, begin here, clearly week 1, and then you can put SEF Student Services. Those are just shortcuts for students that I have for the Academic Resource Center, the Disability Resource Center, the SEF Library. Just sort of makes things a little bit more convenient for our students. They don't have to search. We're sort of making them more efficient as well. Information about a optional bonus opportunity. Not all professors offer a bonus opportunity, and that's completely acceptable. And then if you notice there, Module 1, the study of economics, that's what we're going to be talking about for week 1. So everything is clear. The students, there's no guesswork in terms of what they're going to be working on. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and so on and so forth. In terms of discussion forums, some professors do have discussion forums in their online courses, some do not. I feel that it is necessary. It's also an important element in online learning, that interaction between other students and also the professor. But they can certainly take up a lot of time in terms of grading those discussion forums. I really want to encourage you to always provide a short comment for each and every student in the course. You may be tempted to not provide a comment this week because you have a lot going on, even if it is just nice or well done. I enjoyed reading your comments this week. Students really enjoy receiving feedback, especially positive feedback. So one way to increase grading and improve efficiency in terms of grading your discussion forums is I encourage you to type up a list of generic comments that you have used and written over the years and save those comments in a Word document. And then when you're getting ready to grade that discussion forum for week 1 or discussion forum for week 2, go ahead and pull up that document, have it side by side, ready to go. And then when you begin your grading, all you really need to do is simply copy and paste those comments that apply to that specific student. And some of those comments you might be thinking, well, it's just as fast to type in nice, in which case you're absolutely correct. But if it is something that is a little bit more involved as a response, that's when it really saves time to sort of copy and paste those comments. And you will find that a lot of faculty members, we have the same questions in the discussion forum. We may tweak them from one semester to the next or completely change them. So your generic comment list in Word is it's a living, breathing document. It's going to constantly need to be updated, but it will save you a lot of time. So I provided you some examples of such generic comments that I find myself using over and over again. So I'm sure some of you have used these exact comments as well. So well done, excellent work. I enjoyed reading your discussion forums this week. Keep up the good work. Sort of that positive reinforcement with the student. It really doesn't take much time and effort to make the student feel appreciated and valued. Other general comments: you did not follow the directions. Please review the discussion forum directions again. Please read the email I sent to the class titled Discussion Forum 1 Feedback to see how to calculate the problem correctly. If you want to eliminate several emails back and forth between you and the student, one thing that I suggest is as soon as the discussion forum, the submission deadline closes, go ahead and send out an email to the class with all of the correct responses and how to calculate problems. Just label that feedback for that particular discussion. And it really answers a lot of questions that students have. And keep in mind that this same method can be applied to grading papers, both short and long, essay exams, and Canvas. And folks, you will be absolutely amazed how much time you'll save using these tips in order to improve efficiency, which is what this is all about. The syllabus. Let's talk about the syllabus for a moment. So the syllabus is essentially a contract between your expectations of the student, and the student needs to be fully aware of that. I do not recommend a half-page syllabus or even a page syllabus. That is far too lean. The syllabus needs to, it doesn't matter if it's 15 pages in length, it needs to spell out every possible scenario. And students need to become trained to refer back to that. And you may find yourself sounding like a broken record. If a student asks a question, you can be very polite and politically correct. Hi there, thanks for your email today. Please refer back to the course syllabus, and that will answer your question immediately. So you want to get into the habit of training students to refer to the syllabus rather than emailing questions. So develop a detailed syllabus with all emphasis on all expectations, students and faculty outlined. So some common questions: when will my assignment be graded? Students are always very, very antsy to know when that will be happening. So you could sort of give them some scenarios. Typically, I usually find myself grading, doesn't take longer than a week to grade all of the discussion forums for all of my online classes. And that way the student is not left in the bag wondering. So syllabus quiz is another way to reinforce that emphasis and that strong connection between looking back and finding everything that students need to know in that syllabus. So the syllabus quiz is really used to reinforce those main points that students have. And a lot of professors have frequently asked questions. That is also very helpful as well, and discussion forums with a Q&A format.
All right, so I think we're going to pass it on to Dale.
All right, thanks, Kristen. So the other one that I like is the using rubrics, and rubrics helps you to not have any ambiguity when you're doing the gradings. There's no gray matter at all. It is just clear. This is what you're being graded on. So when you see inside of your course, you go into your SpeedGrader, you can have a rubric attached to an assignment. So when you go into your SpeedGrader, you can just click and view that rubric and grade it very efficiently. efficiently. And then what you're going to do is you're going to find out that you're not going to get all those questions from your students asking them, hey, why did I get a certain grade? The rubric tells you right away, this is what you got the grade for. So we're going to go in here and we're going to send out a guide afterwards for creating a rubric. And so we're going to go to our next slide and show you actually where you would see that rubric at. So the rubric resides right underneath of your assignment, and students will be able to see that. Even on for discussions, they'll be able to see the rubric. And then when you go in your SpeedGrader, you just click right here, and you get your gradebook, and you go into SpeedGrader. Then you'll see View Rubric. When you click this button, you'll see all your criteria, and then you just quickly start clicking on it, and you just go through that and mark what they got for a grade. And when you get done with it, at the very bottom, all you do is just hit Submit, and that grade will be reflected, and the students can get that feedback. And inside that rubric, you can also add comments off to the side for each individual criteria. And then that's all you have to do, and we'll move on to our next slide. So one of the things I do in my course is I have a document that I keep on my desktop. And then on the desktop, I have it, it says for like my discussion boards. I'll put in the discussion board week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. So I know like in this last week, I was doing a discussion on accessibility. So one of the main things that we always have a discussion on is the difference between accommodation and accessibility. So I have a nice response that I have built up, and so instead of typing that over and over, I just have it sitting in that Word document on my desktop. And then I'll just grab that document and I'll grab that snippet and I'll just paste it right into it. And I have a lot of responses inside of there. So another one is grading all your assignments in one sitting. And you're saying, well, I kind of like going in there and just periodically doing it. Well, if you go in there at one sitting, you're just going to do it all at one sitting. You're going to knock it out instead of logging in, going into your course, going into the grade book, and then going into the SpeedGrader, and then actually starting to grade it, leave, come back in. There's a lot of wasted time doing that. So just let your students know, hey, I'm going to be grading on Monday morning, and then I'll provide the feedback to you on then. And that way you just go in there and just knock it out in one fell swoop. Another one is peer review of projects, and you can. This is very efficient if you combine them with a rubric too. So students can go into a project and they'll do peer reviews and they'll have a rubric attached to it and they'll grade each other. So that's a great way to make the course more efficient. Communications. Setting up your communications, your announcements to be released. So what I mean by this is I have my course I teach over every semester. And so I know in week 1 I'm going to have my, hey, welcome to the class announcement. In week 2 I'm going to have another announcement. So what I do is I create all my announcements and then I put release dates on it. So then just automatically does it. I won't forget it. I know Monday morning that announcement goes out. Now, another thing, too, is if you have the same question more than once, send out an announcement. Because if you get it twice, 3 times, you know a lot of other students are having the same question, too. So just instead of responding back to individual ones, just all of a sudden just say, hey, I'm going to send out an announcement, and I'm going to help the students be more clear on what the question is. The next one is direct students to post questions to the Q&A. So students will actually answer the questions for each other, and they might even know, well, hey, I already asked the professor this, and this is the answer to it. So if you have the Q&A in there, that's a great way to help the students answer each other's questions or provide feedback. So another one is utilizing the gradebook inside of the Canvas that says message students who. You have 4 options when you say message students who. You have the haven't submitted yet, haven't been graded yet, scored less than, or scored more than. I use this a lot to quickly engage the students. So on Sunday, they might have an assignment due Sunday night, I just go in there Sunday morning, I open up the grade book, and I see, oh, there's 20 people that haven't submitted yet, and I'll just click on it and say message to students who haven't submitted yet. It populates all the students' names, and they get a blind carbon copy so they don't know who the other students are, and then you can quickly engage them and say, hey, make sure you submit by Sunday night. So great way to do that. The other one is if you're actually going to not check your Canvas messaging system, but you're having all your messages sent from Canvas to your Outlook, and you say, hey, I'm looking at my Outlook. Well, if you do that, your Outlook can become quite populated with a lot of different emails from different classes. So if you might want to set up a procedure inside your class where you have the students label their emails with the class number. So it might be EME 2040 or EDF, whatever it is. You just put in tell them in the subject line, put the name of the class, and then put your name. So then when it comes into your Outlook, you know right away, hey, that's with such and such class. So that's a great way to help speed it up. And then you can set up rules inside of Outlook to send those individual class messages to a folder. And I believe this is Angie. And Angie, your microphone's muted.
All right, thank you so much, Dale. All right, so one of the best things about Canvas is its ability for you to make it automatically work for you. And really that whole process is going to start when you start assigning due dates. So one of the great features, once you assign a due date to any assignment, it will alert students 5 days out that this is coming up. This puts it on their to-do list. Additionally, it puts it on their calendar. A lot of students enjoy looking at the calendar view. So really to get the most out of Canvas, you really need to use those due dates. It's a very powerful tool. The next thing is using multiple tabs. Instead of, switching directly, say, from modules to grading around and then having to go back and forth and click 100 times, you are going to save yourself so much time if you start just opening it in a new tab. To open in a new tab, you simply right-click wherever you would normally just click to go, just right-click and then select Open Link in a new tab. And that right click will work on a Mac or a PC. So for example, if you are grading student work on one tab, you may want to have your rubric up on a separate tab, and then you can just click back and forth as you look through those particular components of the rubric that you are looking for as you grade. So that will save you a lot of time. Another really helpful tidbit to help you just do so much more of your communication more quickly is using a text auto expander. There are several out there, but I really I love this auto text expander from Google Chrome. It is very simple to use, and it works just as a plugin for Chrome, so you don't have to have anybody install it for you. You can just add it to Chrome. So I'm going to show you a little screenshot here of what it looks like on my desktop. All right, so what we're looking at here, this is the main menu. So you go to the Chrome store, you download Auto Text Expander, and then it will open up for you. And it's very simple to use. You can see that there are, down at the bottom here, in the first column is where you would add your shortcut. So for example, here I have open parentheses, and then the expanded text, have a great day, comma, Angie. So that means when I'm using anything in Chrome, from Grading Commons to Microsoft 365, I can just hit that open parenthesis, and it'll expand. And the beauty of this is that can include doing entire paragraphs. You can also include like HTML if you want to link to a something that's uploaded in a shared drive. So you can really be so much more efficient. So here I am grading. I simply hit 2 buttons and I have my whole academic integrity policy typed out for me. And I don't have to, even copy and paste. It's just really fast, blip, blip, and I am done. So a very, very great tool. It's really helpful. All right, so I really hope that the tips that we shared with you today, if you can get through what you need to do a little bit more quickly each day, or really kind of give you more time to maybe go that extra step and things that you want to do, other learning products that you want to create, just open up that time for you to help your students more. So wanted to mention our third part in our series, Recharge and Finish Strong, will take place October 26th at 4 p.m. It will be another webinar. And really what we're going to focus on here is about this time of the semester, students really start to lose their engagement. You really see that fall off of students, turning in late work or just not being as engaged as they were at the very beginning. So this is a way to kind of recharge your students, and we'll be talking about some different strategies to increase that student engagement so we can power them through to the end of the semester so they can complete successfully. So we hope to see you there. And that is it. If you have any questions, please contact our online learning department at SEF. Our phone number is displayed up here, and then we also have our email and website to help answer questions. So thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope to see you again on October 26th.
Thanks, everybody.